Hi everybody. Today for this lesson we are going to be doing some product analysis about Alessi products. So today we are going to explore the work of a particular designer, or rather design group, and to consider how everyday products can be designed in the style of Alessi, of other designers. So the Alessi company was actually founded in 1921 to produce beautifully crafted home products and is currently run by Alberto Alessi, who is the grandson of the original owner. While himself not a designer, he has hired many talented and even famous artists and engineers like Richard Zappa, Alessandro Mendini, Ettore Sottsass and Salvador Dali. Some of their product lines are aimed towards adults to be functional yet elegantly timeless art pieces within the home. For example, we have quite a selection of kettles, beautiful stainless steel and brass, really interesting designs, use of plastic, very unusual. And we have various other home products like little pill boxes that some people need to take medications or vitamins, peelers, timers, you name it. This is one of their best-selling products. It's a kettle by a designer called Michael Grave. What do you see about it? What do you think is interesting? What's different to the kettle you might have at home? Why on earth is there a bird on the end of the spout? How do you think that works? And would you or your parents buy this? So you're going to have a discussion with your neighbours, 2 minutes, off you go. Okay, hopefully that had lots of interesting discussion. So here are the answers. The bird was included because this is a stove-top kettle. So it's not one that you plug in at the wall, it's not electric, and it whistles. So it sounds like the bird is whistling. How clever is that? If left for too long on the hob, it could boil over. So that's to indicate that you need to come back and stop it from boiling over. This was such a successful product that 2 new versions were created. And here they are. So they had a really classic white look, and it's sort of almost like a dove now. And they did one in the form of like a dragon, which I think is particularly interesting. And you can see we've got sort of a metal version and a plastic version. So some of our other product lines are aimed more towards children and young people to be more fun, whimsical and family centred. So I've got this selection line here for you and I've hidden what they are. So these are just the names, the little fun names that the Alessi company give them. And I'd like you to discuss with your neighbours for a couple of minutes. What do you think they do? How can you tell? And we'll go through the answers in a sec. Here are the answers. How did you do? Which ones really surprised you? Which ones did you have no idea about? They're really clever. I think probably some of my favourite ones are probably the toilet brush. I've got to say I would have that in my house. I think it's really cute. It doesn't look like a normal brush, which is kind of unappealing, let's say. And the butter dish, the ship-shaped butter dish, that's even more clever because this plume of smoke that's coming out of the top is in fact a plastic knife. So it's a butter knife, dedicated butter knife. I think that's really clever. My next question for you is, what do all of these designs have in common? What are the common design criteria, the kind of things that we are looking for that would be worth including in our designs? Have a chat with your neighbour for about a minute and then we'll look at some answers. Hopefully you came up with some similar ideas to these. So we can see lots of bright colours, they're really fun, they're definitely suited for children. A lot of them are actually like little people, little characters. Often they're smiling, they're really happy and inviting. They've got sort of faces and hands and features that make them really exciting. Now that we've had lots of discussion and analysed products, now we're going to actually do some writing. So we're going to do some product analysis, and when we say that we're analysing something, we mean that we are studying the product for its pros and cons, its goods and its bads. So I'd like each of you to take a sheet. You're going to work as a group, sort of 3 to 5, depending on where you're sitting, but each of you is going to have a sheet. You're going to trim it down, make sure that you're writing in blue or black pen, and we're going to answer in lots of detail. No one-word answers, okay? We're in secondary school. Now, next, your teacher, in a minute, okay, is going to hand out the products we're going to analyse. And then they're going to give you a little image, okay, and you can cut it out, stick it on. And there's also some pink laminates to help you a little bit later on, but not right now. Hold tight. The first 2 of the 4 products that we are going to analyse are full-size products. So we bought these from the Alessi company, and here they are. So we have this little blue guy, he's got a spoon, I wonder what he does, and we've got one on the right. I wonder why they're black and white. Maybe that will give you an idea. Quick discussion with neighbours, 30 seconds. What do you think they do and why? Go. All right, and now for our last 2. Our last 2 are actually miniatures. Because Alessi products are pretty expensive, I mean justifiably so, but pretty expensive. We can't really justify buying them just for product analysis. So we've got miniature versions. So the prices that are on the laminates are for the full size and ours are just miniatures. I wonder what they are, particularly that one on the right. What do you think they do? 30 seconds, talk to your neighbours, go. How did you do? Did anyone get these? Give yourself a pat on the back if you did. So our first guy, our little blue guy, his name is Kiko, and he's an egg cup, and you can see he's storing the egg in his head. The hat actually has a second purpose, which is pretty cool, and you can put salt and pepper into it and hold it upside down. The little hole on the top means you can shake salt and pepper over your egg and add a little bit of flavour. Speaking of salt and pepper, next one is a salt and pepper set named Lilliput, and that's why they're black and white, and the salt and pepper come out of their eyes. Next we have the Anna G corkscrew. So underneath her skirt is the corkscrew part, and it is sharp, so please mind your fingers when you are looking at the miniature. And what you do is you screw that into your wine cork, and then you pull down her arms, so it looks like she's sort of happy, she's sort of waving, and then she helps you pull the cork out of your wine. And then last we have, it's a citrus squeezer, so for lemons or oranges, and it's called the Juicy Salif. I don't know why it's called that, it's just a funny name. And you can see it's got these channels that run down the side, and then all of the juice runs to the bottom and collects into your glass. How cool is that? So now your teacher is going to give you one of the 4 products we've just discussed. So in your groups, you're going to analyse it together, and as I said, each of you is going to fill in your own worksheet. Let's start with, how do you think I work, and do you think I work well? Now you're obviously going to struggle to use it fully because you don't have an egg or a bottle with you, but I'd like you to discuss with each other, try your best, and make sure you have stuck down your picture for your product in the middle of your sheet. Off you go. Okay, well done on that one. For the next 5 minutes, you're going to think about, do I look good? What are my good and bad points? And any improvements that you might want to recommend. Make sure you're writing in full sentences, please. Okay, no one-word answers. Try and use a good selection of vocabulary. Off you go. Now your teacher is going to hand out the pink laminate slips. First of all, I'd like you to look at the cost specifically. Then you're going to discuss with your group, am I cheap or expensive? Why do you think this is? What sort of people might buy me? Now this one can be very subjective, okay, because some people's expensive might be another person's reasonable price. Okay, so we want to be really considerate of each other's views, be very tolerant and understanding. All right, off you go. Great job so far, guys. Okay, for the last 5 minutes, you're going to look at, first of all, what am I made of? Now, we're in secondary school, so we don't just say things like plastic or metal, right? So we're going to learn some different types of plastics and metals and maybe other materials. Have a look at that one, discuss what it is, and write down what you are reading. And similarly, when it says, how could I have been made? Now, the technical term for that is manufacturing. So if something is manufactured, it's been made. So again, rather than just writing in a factory, right? We're going to write the technical terms. You're going to learn something new today, that's for sure, right? This is even a little bit of GCSE level. Okay, happy reading, write it down, off you go. I'm going to guess that you learned an awful lot from that product analysis. You might even want to just discuss the different ones with different groups and compare and contrast your answers. Now you can have a go at the next task. So you're actually going to produce your own designs in the style of Alessi for a new kitchen or homeware item. You've got just 10 minutes to sketch 4 or more of your own ideas for a product. That's only one every couple of minutes. Now, when we say sketch, we mean sketch. We don't mean a perfectly beautiful designed piece of work that you're going to spend ages on. We mean a sketch. We want lots and lots of efficient sketches. You can see on the right-hand side here, we've got some examples. Could be salt and pepper shakers, could be knives and forks, could be clocks, it could be all sorts. Remember, they need to have bright colours. They're like fun little people with faces and smiling. It could be for a variety of objects in the kitchen or around the home. Could be any of these on the list. But my recommendation is to just go cute thing or funny thing plus piece of equipment from the kitchen or home. That gives you a new creation. And here's my example for you. Duck, okay, cute thing, cute little duck, plus timer, okay, like an egg timer that you'd find in your kitchen, just goes bing. Now you've got yourself a duck timer. Hello, there you go. Look at that. Pro tip for you. I think you're going to come up with loads and loads and loads. One A4 page, okay, on your piece of paper or in your book, please. 10 minutes, off you go. How many did you come up with? Did you do 4? Did you do more? Well done. I hope you came up with loads of interesting designs. So we were looking for a wide range of interesting, imaginative ideas for kitchen objects, clear, high quality, carefully drawn sketches with colour where appropriate. Next, you're going to do a final design. So you're going to take your favourite one, or maybe you could do a bit of peer analysis. You could ask others what they think is their favourite, and you're going to draw it nice and big. Okay, we're looking for a design, final design which fulfills all the criteria and shows some development. And let's have a look at the next slide for what that means. And now you're going to draw your final design nice and big on the next page in your book or a new piece of paper or maybe over sheet. And we need to make sure that we are annotating it as well. When we annotate our work, we can share ideas and details with things that we can't necessarily see, right? So we want to explain what we're thinking. So you're going to draw your picture nice and big in the middle of your page. Have a think about things like, what does it do? Is it a good design? How big would it be? How much would you charge? Have a think about the materials and manufacturing methods, because we've just covered that with the other ones. You could borrow the same kind of materials and methods. What kind of colours would you use? How would you make it safe? Okay, how would a human use it? We call those ergonomic factors. And maybe even think about the environmental impact. I reckon 10 to 20 minutes for this task, depending on how much time you've got. Okay, off you go. Good luck. You must have worked really efficiently to get to this point. Well done. I've got about 3 minutes of this longer video, and it's all about how the Michael Graves kettle is made in the Alessi factory. Enjoy. If you still have a little bit of time to spare, how about looking at the Alessi website? I've given you a clickable link and you can see what kind of things they sell, what they sell for, how much they sell for, and maybe what you'd add to your Christmas or birthday list. I hope you've enjoyed today's lesson, guys. Well done.